turning stress into a spiritual experience. Our lives oftentimes run rampant with stress. It depends on our job, it depends on what we're doing, or kind of a bunch of different scenarios and things that are happening, but stress definitely happens. So turning stress and finding another tool to be able to use stress to your advantage is something that I feel like is very beneficial and very helpful, and at least has been in my life. So I wanted to share with you 4 different ways that I turn stress into a spiritual experience. And I'm going to also share with you a huge shifting moment in my life, extremely stressful, that happened 3 days ago, which is where I got the idea for this video and how I worked through it. So a few days ago, I was involved in an accident. It was literally the most terrifying experience of my life. I just saw everything flash before my eyes. I felt serious regret, serious remorse, and I just felt just this overwhelming sense of fear. I was turning left on a 3-way stop, and it was super sunny outside. I had a hat on. There was a pedestrian walking across the street with her dog and her bike. Didn't see her at all. Slammed on my brakes, saw her immediately pop up in my, I couldn't see. The sun was just blinding me. And I had no idea she was there. I wasn't even texting, nothing. And anyways, before I know it, she's right in front of me. I slam on my brakes. I make a collision with her bike. Luckily, everyone was okay. Nobody got hurt. The dog was okay. Her bike was fine. My car was fine. She was fine. I jumped out of my car. I hugged her. I was really distraught. That brought out a stress hormone that was so powerful. I had never experienced anything like it. It literally overwhelmed me to the point of tears once I left that situation. Once I said bye, I gave her my phone number, I said I'm sorry about 1,000,001 times. I was in a state of total distraught and despair. And I realized that I needed to take this experience and move it into something that would benefit me rather than keeping on deteriorating me. Because I was in tears for about 30 minutes. And it wasn't till I was able to start looking at the situation with these 4 techniques I'm about to give you that I was able to turn the stress into something that would bring more light and more love in my life. This was someone could have been extremely hurt. And that was terrifying. But this also relates to stress you're having maybe with a relationship in your life, a stress that you're having at work, or that you're in a financial position. Whatever stress is coming up for you, I want you to bring it to your attention now. Take a deep breath with me. And I want you just to listen to these 4 techniques, these 4 things to help you move through it, move beyond it, and make it into a powerful experience in your life. Because we all need those tools to turn this stress into something that actually fuels us, empowers us, and brings more harmony with good. Number 1, whatever stressful situation is happening in your life, for me, it was, hitting a pedestrian. And instead of just being so distraught about it, angry, upset, I felt just shame. Instead of asking why did this happen to me? Oh my God. Ask, why did this happen for me? Bring this stressful event, this stressful relationship in your life. Why is this happening for me? Why is this universe aligning this experience for me to tap into, to use it as a learning and a stepping stone in my life? Instead of being a victim to this stress, you can take power back. You can take power and begin fueling your body with that question. Why is this happening for me? I know that I am not a victim to this stressful situation, to this stressful relationship. I know the universe is aligning this to teach me something, to empower me, and to give me a sign. When that accident happened in my life, I literally asked myself, what sign was the universe bringing to me? And I took it in a multitude of levels. It was bringing me that I need to be much more aware when I'm driving. That texting and driving I wasn't even texting and driving, but texting and driving, I commit to not doing that 100%. Being distracted while I'm driving, being more aware. This accident actually probably is saving me from a future accident. And see what I'm doing there. I'm taking this really stressful situation, this circumstance, and I'm using it as a stepping stone to keeping me from doing something on an even bigger level. Maybe in a few weeks, if this wouldn't have happened, I would have been texting and driving and gotten in an accident that caused a lot of, hardship. I don't know that, but I know that this experience aligned in my life to bring some sense of fear and unease in my body, to ask why it showed up, and to know that it's giving me a reason and a lesson. So instead of being a victim to what it is that's happening in your life, to this stress, to whatever situation is going on, instead of being victim to it, take your power back, bring responsibility to it, bring a sense of this is a learning lesson, this is a learning curve, and I'm stepping into it with the knowing that this is happening for me and I am not a victim to it. So when stress is triggering in our bodies, when the cortisol is pumping, there's different unconscious patterns that are going to come forward. When we're in any situation that brings out a lot of emotional turmoil and stress, that's when the deepest subconscious programs and patterns are actually going to come forward and make their head. So in my accident that happened the other week, and which is why this is my number 2, is there was so much judgment there. I felt so much shame for doing something wrong, for doing something bad. I felt so bad for causing that experience. There was multiple drivers who drove by. They were yelling at me. They were calling me an idiot. They were telling me to get my car out of the road and that I was a dumb driver. And those really affected me. It brought out this really deep wound of feeling wrong or feeling bad and not being able to forgive myself. So maybe you're in a stressful situation right now and it's causing a lot of emotional turmoil. What are some of the subconscious programs that are bringing themselves into the surface that you can take a deeper look at? For me, it was that fear of judgment, that fear of rejection, that, feeling like I'm bad and that I'm ashamed. And that was in that experience of an accident. But maybe you're, in a bad relationship at work that doesn't feel as good, it's not promoting your health and well-being. So maybe it's bringing out deeper senses of these fears of being left, these fears of being fired, these fears of being rejected. What deeper level of this subconscious patterns are coming forward that are making themselves present during this time of stress in your life? When we have things that are amplified, they bring out deeper things, deeper darknesses, deeper wounds that we really need to take a look at and let go and release. Number 3 of the process that I was going through on that morning was just giving love. I have this tendency, and you might have this tendency as well, because as humans, we're givers, we're lovers. And I sat down and all I did was gratitude for 20 minutes and just sent this woman, her dog, just these crazy amounts of love. And after about 20 minutes, I realized I hadn't sent any of that love to myself. And in all honesty, in this situation, she very much, I wanted to send her my love, but I needed love just as badly. I needed love just as much. So be willing to not only give love outward, but more importantly, give it back to yourself. When we're involved with stress, when we feel like we've done something wrong or we're ashamed of something, the last person we give love to is ourselves. We give it to the person we feel bad for or the person we wronged. When in reality, we need the love just as much to be able to forgive, to be able to let go, to be able to move beyond it and not feel that sense of shame and unease in our body. The truth is, if we want to let go of a stressful situation and not carry it with us for the rest of our life, to not have it pop up down the road and bring this karmic knot of just angst and fear and loathing, if we don't want that to pop up in our life, we have to start letting it go. And we can let it go by sending ourselves love, by giving love to ourselves in that stressful situation and telling ourselves, you know what, you made a mistake. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. This was a learning lesson. Ashley, everyone's okay. Whatever your name is out there who's watching this, everything's okay. You're learning. You're growing. You are becoming more aware and more aligned with love in this moment. So give yourself that. Forgive yourself for anything you may feel shamed of, may feel guilty of, and begin releasing it by sending yourself love. Forgiving outside of yourself, giving love outside of yourself is beautiful, but being able to give that directly back to you is what's going to release you from holding it for the rest of your life. And number 4 is something that I recognized I was having to practice consistently, and I still am, I actually have really released it from me. I feel so good about that. But throughout that day, throughout that next day, I really had to practice a conscious effort of letting it go. It kept popping up. I kept seeing those like things of like the experience happening and me feeling the shame and the guilt, and maybe that stressful situation in your life is causing those feelings of sporadic shame, guilt, thinking about it, overwhelming, it's happening, you're thinking all the time about it, and this, and this. Practice letting go. Letting go is not a one-time phenomenon. I don't even know the word for it. It's a consistent effort. In order to really release something from our experience, we must move through it. And by moving through it, I mean releasing it time and time again. Because if something's really traumatic, something's really stressful that's happening, it's on our mind, right? It keeps popping into our experience. It keeps popping into our awareness. It's in our meditation. It's in when we're going to sleep at night. It's the things we're thinking about that we're storing deep down inside of us. If you want to release them and let them go, you have to consistently practice letting them go. And on that day, I had to consistently practice, okay, that showed up again. I love you. I forgive myself. Everyone's okay. I'm letting it go. And those are the mantras. Create a mantra. I'm letting this go. Everyone's okay. The money is coming. Everything is good. I'm alive. My family is healthy. Bring your attention towards what you're grateful for rather than focusing on this negative thing popping up in your life again. This video was super inspired, obviously, by the very traumatic event that happened in my life a few days ago. It really affected me on a really deep level. I hope that these 4 things really encourage you to take something that's really stressful happening in your life and turn it into a spiritual experience. There's so much room for growth in all, in all honesty, darkness is what offers us the most light. These stressful situations are offering us the most growth, the most light in our life, the most love. So I highly encourage you to dive into these 4 things, these 4 process to get through and let go and release, and let me know how they work for you. Let me know which one really hit home for you. I would love to know. And my intention was to just give you good, help you through some situation in your life that's happening now or in the future, and just feel better. So I really hope that came through. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Sending you so much love today. If you do have a stress, it's all good. Like, the universe is here to support you. It's guiding you in ways that you may not know right now. Connect with your goodness, because that's all that exists, is you and your relationship with the good that flows through you. Thanks so much for watching my video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, press that bell notification to be notified every single time I post a video. My name is Ashley Ducey with AshleyDucey.com, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.